Hi, my name's Rich. I'm going to give you an in-depth tour and go over some of the performance data of my 2007 BMW M6. For starters, the color is called Sepang Bronze Metallic. Sepang is a district in Malaysia of the color. If you notice, the lights aren't stock. Those rings are Angel Eye upgrades. The stock ones from this year, an era anyway, are a dull yellow, so I replaced those. This is the E63 designation, part of the E60 6 series, which was released in 2004, went to 2010. They made the M6 from 06 to 2010. Typically after the standard model gets released, it takes the M division a year or two to spit out a variant. So some of the differences include there's no fog lights. Instead you have air intakes. The engine and drivetrain are all different. There's a 5-liter V10 under there, which we'll look over later. The wheels are different, 19-inch 5-spoke alloys. That little M6 badge is obviously not found. The mirrors are different. Also applied a window tint a couple of years ago. LED tail lights that really look great in the dark. You've got 4 pipes instead of just 2. Another difference to note is 2008 to 2010 they had some styling changes to the M6 to include a 3rd or 4th brake light right here, depending on how you want to consider it, because there also is a brake light in the back window. Let's get in and talk about the car. Headlight washers, see those. Okay, it comes with soft closed doors. I installed those aftermarket pedals. This is a manual, so of the M6 from this era, they only manufactured about 9,000 of them in the US market, and of the coupes, only 323 are a genuine 6-speed manual. So it took me forever, not when I say forever, over a year to find this car. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can actually see the heads-up display. So you'll notice it's in like a crescent moon shape that's been turned 90 degrees. So that shape matches the tachometer. And if you look at the yellow and red, that represents kind of the engine warming up and when you're supposed to shift. So as the car warms up, it'll actually move downward and to the right. No fog lights, which is annoying because BMW has a habit, like Ferrari and Porsche, of making you pay more for less. You'd think that they could accommodate fog lights like the standard 6 Series does. Has an early version of the iDrive. Here's the cup holder, which is probably one of the worst features of the car because it looks like they completely forgot to do it. So I always make this reoccurring joke that in the BMW factory, you know, you had Fritz the boss say, "Excuse me, Franz, where's the cup holder?" And then he says, "Mein Führer, we forgot it." And then he makes like the neck head cut off sign like Ali G does in that Dictator movie. So full merino leather. Dash is pretty nice. Try to keep it clean. It's a little bit filthy right now because I drove it after I worked out. Back seat is small, but you can get adults in there. Probably one of the better cars in its class about doing that. It still is not a very fun ride back there. Okay, so let's go over some of the performance data, and I happen to have the original window sticker. So you can see the car was $111,000, brand new. It has every factory option, with the exception of the SMG semi-manual gearbox transmission, which would have paddles here and here where the hand bolsters are, and then obviously the shifter would be much different. It has heated seats. I wish it had ventilated seats. It has a single disc CD changer, which is a pain. The 08 through 10 came with a 6-disc, as well as different seats, but these seats are pretty comfortable and they do have great side bolstering. They also have the M logo embossed right there. If you're wondering what M stands for, it actually stands for Motorsport. So this car is a great GT car. Love driving it long distances. I've got 83,000 miles on it. Bought it for $39,500 with 46,000 miles on it in August of 2013. Notice it also has no sunroof, which is another annoying feature they took away. It is a carbon fiber sunroof, or roof rather, to reduce weight, but I think that's kind of silly because the car weighs over 4,000 pounds. Let's put the windows up real quick. What else? It has an early version of the BMW iDrive system. So we're gonna turn the car on. Gauges are pretty simple. You see the little M logo. Typical indicator of performance cars, the oil temperature gauge right there really tells you what's going on in the engine. Fuel gauge, dangerously low on fuel right now. I gotta get gas. But it will do 200 miles an hour and beyond, actually a little bit more. I do have a Dynan Stage 1 performance tune. So I've done that, I've done the lights, I've done the pedals, and I've also installed some LED lights here. You can see as well as like in the door and in the footwells. There is no rear lighting. So let's go over a couple questions before I go out to the trunk and the under the hood or bonnet if you're English. So why an M6? I bought this car because I coveted it since its release in 2004. Once I saw it, I think it came out in some form of red. I thought it was beautiful. I wanted it ever since. It was a successor to the original 6 Series, the E24, which was from like, I think it was like 78 to 89, which my father owned one. And the M6 then was called, I believe it was the M635 CSI, and he had a black one with gold wire wheels, and that really impacted me as a little tyke. The engine is the S70 5-liter V10, 383 foot-pounds of torque, and 507 horses stock. It probably has a little more with my tune, but when I saw that engine and when I've been kind of observing things with the times, how they've been shifting down to 4 cylinders, I figured they're never going to make this engine again. I better get a car that has that engine. Next, it's kind of distinguished, and you know, enthusiasts know about it. Not a lot of people know about it, so it's kind of subtle. Next, my recommendations: take your time in buying. I looked over a year for this car, one that had all these factory options and that had this manual transmission. Therefore, I'm never selling it. I owe about $18,000 more on it, and then the car is mine completely. I will keep this car forever. Maybe pass it on to children someday. Definitely go with a manual if you're a purist, and especially if you have a sports car, you know, why not? And so this button on the steering wheel is the M button. So right now it's producing about 400 horses. It's good for around town. By the way, you'll never get that kind of gas mileage right now, getting in the 13s, and that's regular regardless of highway or roadway. Next is I recommend getting an extended warranty and keeping the vehicle in a garage. The car is great, but things just break and they are out of your control, so you want to make sure that you're covered. Next, the perception of the M6. So enthusiasts love it, and I get compliments on it, you know, from people that know what it is, but most people don't know what it is, and they just think, oh, it looks cool. So, you know, women don't really give a shit about it. I would encourage you to buy something else if you're trying to impress women. I think women know 3 types of cars. They know new cars, they know pickup trucks, and they know Mustangs. Other than that, they don't really give a shit. So let's go look under the hood, and we'll also look at the trunk. My next purchase is going to be a brand new cold air intake system. Plus those 2 air boxes. And here's the trunk. I apologize for the mess. Probably fit a hefty bag in there and at least 1 set of golf clubs. If you're the Dexter Morgan type, probably a couple bodies. Those huge 4 pipes. Get those updated eventually too, with maybe some Dynan, or Krapovich, or Meister Chef exhaust. So that's about it. Thanks for watching.